Welcome to This Week in Vegas, a bettor's view. This is your host, Marco D'Angelo, along with my partner in crime, Vegas Runner. Each and every week, we sit down, we chat about last week, we try to educate you, make you learn things from last week, talk
Maybe
about
laugh.
things, a few laughs. Yeah, we definitely will have those, that's for sure. In Vegas Runner, last week, we talked about it, rivalry week.
Absolutely.
We told everybody that when you're handicapping these games, I said
you even threw
I
the
threw
papers.
I threw the stats away, and it was a situation. I said that whenever I handicap these games, you start at the dog, and you got to have a good reason to go to the favorite. And this week, it's conference championship week. There's some other games, which is something different than the norm. Normally, this first Saturday in December, you only have the conference championship games in like Army, Navy.
Some leftovers. Yeah.
There's a decent
the
schedule
board. I
this
was
week.
surprised too.
And so we're going to have to, be careful when you handicap those games because this is something new. And you've got teams that are playing an extra game after their big rivalry game.
Yeah, and some of them have already secured their spots in bowl games. I mean, ESPN's already showed where teams are pretty much going for a lot of them. So,
But there's still some stuff up for grabs.
yeah, of course.
Obviously the conference championship games. The Big East, what a move for them. Scheduling Pitt, Cincinnati, the week after the Backyard Brawl.
Perfect.
But in essence, it's like we have an extra conference championship game because it is for the conference championship this week. And you know me with Pitt, on or against. Last week I had a big play on West Virginia. I plan on having a big play Saturday on that game.
You like
guys
that game,
I like that game a lot.
I know you do. What I wanted to say real quick is you were saying about the dogs, and I know they did damage last week on them rivalries. What was the exact number?
I didn't have the exact number. What I did break down for you is in the games that we've got this week.
Okay, these teams?
These teams. The three big conference championships,
ACC,
the SEC,
Big
where
12.
they already had the championship slots.
Correct.
Secured.
They know.
The teams last week, there were 6 of them. Everybody lost against the spread except Florida. As we said, look to the dogs in those games.
So that video was golden,
that video was an instant
the
classic.
price of admission right away. Yeah.
It was an instant classic on pregame TV.
Yeah, baby.
But the only one that won.
But the Florida game, we even said it
we
during
both
that
were on
podcast. You can't. That's not a look ahead at all. And it is a rivalry game, but I mean, it's a statement game as well for Florida. You brought up the recruiting aspect.
The recruiting
Then we brought
aspect.
back the history of
And
that
it was
series.
senior day.
Senior day for Tebow and company. So that was one of them games, and that was my true steam game of the week. I backed Florida early, and I expected that line to keep going up. So I think we did real well there, saying to attack them dogs in conference, in them rivalries, and I think we could use that going forward in the future as well.
Right, it's something to look at. Alabama went into Auburn.
Got the money.
They just played
Like
not to
with a minute and
lose.
30 seconds, they were down 21-20.
Georgia Tech, Clemson, both not only didn't cover, they both lost their games outright.
Yeah.
And then you got Texas didn't cover on the road. They just played to win, not to lose. And then you had Nebraska. Now the Nebraska one, that was a little, Colorado got the,
Call it what you will.
I saw, shades of Cordell Stewart with the Hail Mary pass against
that Nebraska team burned
Michigan
me 2 weeks ago, sitting at like 17-3.
But anyway you look at it, the Dogs went 5-1 in those meaningless games.
You got to look at that stuff for rivalries. You're absolutely right.
We want to talk about, we're always here trying to teach you guys, when we've done it in the past, about shopping.
Oh God!
Hey, it was Black Friday last week, and all the little ladies were out doing their shopping, and they're getting those sales. They look for the best sales, those bargains, and that. It's the same thing in sports betting, and we cannot emphasize this enough. And there was a game Sunday in the NFL. Go ahead, Vegas Runner.
Today they're still talking about it. Let me explain something to you. I gave out Arizona. Okay?
I had Arizona too,
and I put out the play before you did. So because we have to use the pregame lines for my Bet Like a Pro clients, Bodog had 3, the Greek had 3, half the Vegas casinos I'd say 80% had 3, but unfortunately, only Bodog of the pregame lines had 3 when I put my play in. So I had to put it in at 2. But I specifically wrote on the analysis who has 3. And I saw after then you also gave out Arizona, and by the time you gave it out, there were 3s everywhere. And it went to 3.5, and it went to 4. And Jimmy Vaccaro, quote, and I'm quoting, in the Gaming Today said, regardless of what team you bet that day, Arizona or Tennessee, if you lost that game, your betting privileges should be revoked. There's no reason you should have lost that game. And even me, who was forced to put it up at +2, was able to tell my guys, you got to get 3. There's no reason you shouldn't get 3 on this game. You know, and it's so huge because 10 times over a season at 2 units a game, that's 20 units. You know how hard that is to make up? So if you're not shopping, you're just wasting your time. What you're doing is just flipping a coin and gambling.
One book that you absolutely have to have on your card is Bodog. Because if you bet dogs at all, you're always going to get a better line at Bodog.
Yeah.
And you can check this out at pregameaction.com. We have links to all the sports
There's
books.
a couple of them that are that sweep away the sharp money. They don't take it. You know, I mean, they just don't take
but
it.
It's an absolute given that when you go to Bodog, you're always going to get a half a point.
At least. And even on key numbers, they don't care. They'll come off it. You know, some even at 14, they don't want to come off of 14. Bodog 15, they don't care. You know, they know you're going to bet the favorite.
I'll tell you something that I do. You know, we all look for edges on middles and stuff.
Sure.
You know, Bodog's always going to be that, higher on the dog. Well, there's certain, like on Wednesdays, which like today's Wednesdays, there's there's one book, I won't mention their name right now, but they give half point Wednesdays.
Right.
Okay. If I like the favorite in a game, I'll go there and, play
Take it down.
Play it for like 2 units. Like maybe I'm only betting 1 unit on the game, but I'll bet it for 2 units there at a half a point less, and then I'll go back to Bodog and bet 1 unit on the other side at the inflated dog line, and I still have my 1 unit play in action.
But you're working a middle.
But I'm working a 3-unit middle.
You do that a lot, and I do that a lot, and that's what I try to tell my clients. Honestly, my goal is to be a source of information for you, a strong, sharp source of information, just like I have 20 of them, and I want to be one for you. But throughout my day, I'm picking up whatever I could. Any pennies on the floor, I'm picking them up. With arbitrage, with money lines, with first halves, with second halves. This is a market, man. You got to play it like one. If you think you're just going to sit back, pick a game here, pick a game there, God bless you. More power to you. It's great entertainment. It's better than going out to the bar getting trashed. You ain't going to ruin your liver watching sports. But if
you're not going to get yourself in trouble either and have your wife come after you with the golf club either.
But if you're trying to really make money doing this, honestly, and you are more or less a day trader, then brother, you need to day trade. You need to look for arbitrage situations. You need the middle games. You need to bet games, and then at the half, hedge against it. That's what I said. When I was building my bankroll, I did that all the time. If I was up 30 points at halftime, I didn't sit back, light up a cigarette, and say, I'm cashing this ticket. I was like, how can I minimize risk in case the back door is open, lock in a profit, and possibly hit a middle? That's the only way you're going to keep building your bankroll, man. You got to work the system. You got to play the market like it's a market.
Absolutely. And, we went off on a tangent here, guys, but this is something we can't emphasize enough. And when you're doing middles, basketball is the absolute best sport to do middles on.
Dude, 5 games last night in a 10-game board fell right on the number.
There are no dead numbers in basketball.
No.
Football, there are dead numbers, but basketball, every number's live.
Yeah,
so take advantage of it. Hey, we're almost at the 10-minute mark again. This has been This Week in Vegas again. Thanks for, viewing. You have any questions, continue the conversation. Post your questions, right there on the comment section. We'll answer them in future shows. This is Marco D'Angelo. He's a Vegas runner. We'll be back next week.